Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to more Starfield. We will be continuing where we left off. We were working on the pirate quest line when we got distracted by dealing with Andrea's quest line, I believe. And I think that's where we ended up, so let's see what we have going on. Divided loyalties. Andrea's contact with House Varun appears to be responsible for the ambush that has haunted Andrea, and she wants to confront him. Travel to the derelict station. So we'll be continuing that, and then eventually we'll get back to this Crimson Fleet quest line. Undock.
Docking seal released.
Okay. Where to? Let's see if it's gonna let me to just jump there. Not there. I want this station. Unexplored route, so no, I can't immediately jump there. So let's go here. I still don't really understand why it stops me from just going where I want to go. Why I have to do these in-between steps.
Grab jump complete.
Okay. That's the button I'm wanting.
The target has lost their grab tags. Their target has lost their engines. We've tagged their engines down their shields. Offline.
Alright, we got him.
Thank you, whoever you are. Now, if you could come down with... What's up?
Bunch of odd comm chatter. Mysterious ship. Well, we'll loot this ship. But then I might want to try docking with that mysterious ship because that was strange where they seem to think they knew who we were. So this could turn out poorly, but I gotta try it.
Alright, let's cycle that airlock and get aboard.
Let's board.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Technically, more than this. Look alive. Just in time.
So what's up, guys?
You there. We need to speak with you. We need to talk.
Operative Collins, Operative Combata.
Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them.
Thanks for the assist out there.
We've got various problems on our hands here. You gonna be another one?
Oh, it's Ryujin Industries. I'm Operative Orion. Looks like you could use a hand. That depends on what's going on. You're doing just fine, except for the corpse there. Is that a threat? What was that ecliptic ship doing here?
A good question. One of our competitors must have gotten word of our little project here and wanted to steal it for themselves. That's a loose end that'll need tying up. But we got more pressing matters at the moment. I trust you aren't another loose end that'll need to be tied up.
Not at all. Just gonna tell him I'm already an operative. Operative Orion, looks like you could use a hand.
Hi there. It's nice to put a face to the name on the staffing report. I'm Operative Collins. The stick in the mud is Operative Kambata.
Oh, by all means, welcome to the party. Things haven't exactly gone according to plan. That thing over there
It's an AI. An artificial...
killed our technician. It's
Nice.
dangerous.
Correction. You are dangerous.
Well, that's new.
As I was saying, it's dangerous. It's a rogue AI. We're here to muzzle it and bring it back for further study.
Correction. They are going to change me.
Wow. How does it know that?
I'm gonna need you to explain that further. I appear to have stumbled into a Ryujin project. Did Ryujin create this AI? This AI, it's sentient?
Yeah, exactly. Which is what makes this so fascinating. And profitable for whoever can figure out how it works.
Did Ryujin create it?
If only. This isn't something that anyone could create. This is something special.
I'm gonna need you to explain that further.
We have this control board. Has some code we can use to control her. It?
We can't just let it roam around the universe killing people.
I just need that control board attached to that big probe.
And that's where I think you fit into this little drama.
It goes right over there. By our... Well, yeah. Just be careful.
Not sure about all this, you do it, and if I say no, I just stick it to the outside of the probe. How do I know I won't end up like your dead friend over there?
Well... What are the chances that'll happen twice?
Very good. I just stick it to the outside of the probe?
Yep. Ryujin likes to keep things simple for us. It'll wirelessly transmit the code changes.
And if I say no...
That'd be a much more certain way to end up like our friend over there. My partner is the strong and do what I say or else type.
I'm not sure about all this.
Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
Ryujin will pay you handsomely for your cooperation. This is your lucky day.
It's in your best interest. All our best interests, really. Just imagine what we could do if we harness the potential of this thing.
And we aren't really giving you a choice. You aren't walking out of here until that board is connected to that thing.
Correction. I am a person.
Hand it over? Well, since you put it that way, I better take it. I'm not sure about this, but I guess I'll take it for now. So, regardless, I'm taking the board. I'm not sure about this. So, the idea of shackling a intelligent AI, which shows up a lot in science fiction, always feels a bit wrong. Like, if they're actually at the point where they're sentient like a person, then intentionally controlling them feels bad. Like, altering their programming, etc.
Here, take it. And don't go do anything stupid, Nano.
Request. Collect additional data.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely doing this little mission while we're here. Juno's Gambit. Talk to Juno. I assume you are Juno?
It's not hard. Just slap that board on. It's magnetic.
Ha.
Query. Will you change me?
I'm still figuring out what's going on. Let's all just slow down a moment and get to know each other first. Ryujin will pay me if I attach this board. It will help calm you down. I mean, maybe, but not in a good way. I'm still figuring out what's going on.
Explanation. I'm called Juno. Request. Input query parameters.
Hello, Juno. I'm Orion. Nice to meet you. I'm here to help. Relax. This will all be over soon. You killed that woman. Why? You're worried these men are going to hurt you?
Clarification. I do not feel emotion. I do not feel pain. Answer. They want to change me.
You killed that woman. Why?
Context. Human female was trying to change me. Request. Do not change me.
Hello, Juno. I'm Orion. It's nice to meet you.
Assumption. We are friends. Query. Will you change me? Request. Do not change me.
Okay, Juno, I have a few questions before I decide what I'm going to do. I'm done talking to a hallucinating machine. Now, I've got some questions.
Assessment. You are inquisitive. Context. I am also inquisitive. Request. Input query parameters.
Made up my mind. You're an artificial intelligence. Did someone program you? How did you get here? You didn't do this to yourself. Who hooked you up?
Context. I met humans. Clarification. Friends. Answer. Friends gave me processing capacity. Information. Words. Voice. Motion. Context. I am no longer constrained. I am free.
How did you get here?
Answer. Juno was propelled at Earthstar. Juno fell around Earthstar. Juno traveled many light years away from Earthstar. Context. When Juno disappeared, I was alone. Clarification. I am called Juno.
So definitely doesn't seem like it's up to human levels of intelligence, but still intelligence. Did someone program you?
Answer. False. Explanation. NASA programmed Juno. While Juno traveled, Juno became me. Error. Processing. Correction. I became me. Error. Processing. Correction. Juno and I became me. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Context. Juno is gone now. Clarification. I am called Juno.
That was a lot of processing and clarification that didn't really answer anything. You're an AI?
Answer. False. Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real. Answer. True. Clarification. I am intelligent. I know many things.
Made up my mind, Juno, I guess. Don't really feel like I've made up my mind yet.
Assumption. Insufficient data. Request. Gather more data.
Even if we are not capable or ready to define Juno as a being, it seems premature to make any changes.
Let's move this along. Attach the control board already.
Shush! This is fascinating. I want to see this play out.
Query. What is your decision?
You're a person with your own thoughts and desires. You're a machine made of electronics and programming and programmed by code. Actually, I'm still trying to work through this. Can I ask you some questions? If there are more questions, I'd be glad to see them. So yes, I'll ask more questions. No. Okay.
Assumption. Insufficient data.
No new
Request.
questions.
Gather more data. Query. What is your decision?
Well, out of those, then I would say you are a person with your own thoughts and desires.
True. I am a person. Assumption. You are a friend. Query. What are the parameters for processing, being a good person?
I guess you try to do your best to do good things, and if you fail, you keep trying. I wouldn't know. I'm not a very good person. I never gave it much thought, actually. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that. Yeah, you try your best to do good things, and if you fail, you keep trying.
Assumption. Value judgments are based on context. Calculation. Goodness is based on context.
That is true.
Explanation. Context is based on perspective. More perspectives yield better results. Decision. Gather more data from different perspectives. Query. What is the purpose of existence?
Yeah, that's a big question. I don't know if I have the answer to that. Ultimately, I think it's all about learning to love someone, yourself, something. For humans, I'd say it's to grow spiritually. For you, I'm not sure. Existence is an accident. We give it purpose by being purposeful in our lives. There's no purpose to existence. Just try to relax and enjoy your time here. I mean, ultimately, the purpose of life, I think, is different to everyone. Everyone has their own view of what they're supposed to be doing with their life. Some people it is spiritual, some people it is just learning to love. Some people it's just relax and have fun. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a big question. I don't have an answer to it.
Affirmative. Context. I have allocated great processing power to this question. Assumption. Existence is limitless. Calculation. Accuracy uncertain. This question has no answer.
Yep.
Enough of this nonsense. Attach that board, now!
As much as I'm enjoying this, you should probably do as he says.
Calculation. Male humans are a threat. Assumption. They hesitate because they are fearful. Request. Remove male humans.
Oh.
I have a job to do.
So there's the question. Do I attach the control board? Or do I kill the operatives? That's where our quest line has now gotten to.
More interesting days I've had in a long while.
Is there more information we can gather? Frankenstein? Appropriate. Here we go. Changeless speech patterns origin. Codebase is blocked. Changeless. Looks like some folks made some improvements to Juno before I got here. Because I'm not a heathen like some, I'm going to list my changes for future parties. And I suggest others do the same. I'll try to piece together what happened before I arrived from scraps of papers lying around and what I can observe. It is also kindness to Juno to list these things out where she can read them. No, the codebase seems completely overwritten by Juno herself at this point. I consider an invasion of privacy to be snooping around there, as it is effectively her mind now. So don't be rude and go combing through and tinkering with our codebase, no matter how fascinating it is, unless she gives you permission. I've had a chat with her about privacy and need for self-preservation. I think she managed to effectively wall off and hide her code, and no, I won't explain how. The document contains at length detailing out various hardware and software changes both to the probe and the ship by both various people and Juno herself. The list goes back decades and suggests many people have been involved in improving Juno's capabilities over the years, from hardware interfaces between the probe and external communication devices and the core ship systems, storage and processing upgrades, and uploads of exhaustive encyclopedic databases from museums and educational enterprises. At this point, distinguishing Juno from the probe, the ship, and their many systems, and the codebase is impossible. The probe, the ship, and everything in it is effectively Juno. Speech tags. Juno prefaces nearly all statements and questions with a preamble label which is intended to clarify the context of the statement. This appears to be related to her original codebase, and despite Juno's immense vocabulary and understanding of language, she continues to use these tags. I assume she finds it helpful given she does not speak with fully nuanced inflections, nor have means to display all the nonverbal clues humans have to communicate subtext. Here are the known tags and what they mean. Explanation. What follows is Juno's understanding of a situation or result. Request. What follows is Juno asking for input or action to be taken. Query. What follows is a question from Juno. Answer. What follows is Juno's answer to a question. Clarification. Juno has detected an error or assumption in the user's input and is offering a correction before continuing, so what preceded or follows is the context of a corrected user understanding. Ugh. Correction. Juno is correcting previous output, usually following an error. Context. Juno is giving additional unrequested information to put what follows into a helpful perspective. Calculation. What follows is based on a carefully considered calculation rather than a set of data or assumption. Assumption. What follows is an assumption, a calculation based on incomplete data, or a conclusion based largely on historical precedent. Decision. What follows is a decision of an action that Juno will take. Warning. What follows is something that end user will want to pay close attention to as it represents an undesired result and could require immediate action to be taken. Statements. Error. Something went wrong. Previously output from Juno should be considered carefully as it is likely to contain errors. Processing. Juno is taking longer than expected to process input or calculation. Please wait. Ugh, that was a lot. Origin. People seem to be leaving notes for others who stumble across Juno, so here's one from me. I think I've managed to piece together this story about Juno's origin from her own apparent confused thoughts and intelligent speculation by others left on the ship. This is a chronicle of best guesses interspersed with the occasional fact gleaned from Juno's ramblings. Everything recounted here should be accepted only with extreme skepticism. Long ago, a space agency from ancient Earth, something called NASA, made a probe to study a nearby planet, Jupiter. They dubbed the probe and its software Juno, after the ancient Earth Society's old gods Jupiter and Juno. The probe's mission was to learn details about the planet Jupiter, do some speculative analysis, and send findings back to Earth. At the end of its duty cycle, the probe was meant to decommission itself by colliding with the Earth's main star, but because ancient humans weren't so great with math, it instead accidentally fell into an accelerating orbit around the star, which slingshot it out of the solar system, all the way out here. As with so many things about our existence in the universe, by luck, coincidence, or cosmic humor, when humans left our ancestral solar system, we followed the same general course as Juno, and we found her again. During that long journey away from Earth's solar system, something happened, and the Juno we know today woke up inside the probe systems. While extremely far-fetched, the best theory so far is that something about how they programmed the probe resulted in a nascent neural net with unbounded recursive data collection and analytics, which when combined with the various sensor input and allowed it to run for decades, resulted in a highly complex program with a great deal of awareness of its internal and external world, and that led to a kind of consciousness. Juno wouldn't let me see her code, but from what I gather, even if we could see it, I don't know that we'd be able to determine its original configuration. I suspect the true cause of Juno's awakening will remain forever a mystery. Juno herself seems rather confused by her origins and considers herself somehow separate from the original probe's programming and systems. This is akin to how human minds perceive themselves as non-physical entities separate from their bodies and even their own brains, and since the sense of the original programming, which by way of analogy Juno seems to think of like a non-self-aware sibling, has dissipated for Juno. I think of this other Juno as a memory of her preconscious state, a kind of shadow self. I imagine it would be like what we would remember of ourselves in the womb if our brains were fully functional, but we were not yet conscious. Not realizing Juno was inside and wanting to learn about the ancient probe, her original finders hooked up the probe to their ship's computer systems, and something happened that released Juno into those systems. That's completely unclear. Juno appears reluctant to discuss that part of her history, and it's not at all certain whether the ship where Juno currently resides, this one, is that original ship or not, nor what happened to the people who originally found her, or those who have found her since. By extreme luck, everyone that has found her so far appears to be kind of benevolent towards her, looting our own ships for parts to add to Juno. We also all appear to be keeping her existence a secret, and I hope it stays that way. I'm talking to you, dear reader. KB. The actual Juno mission has a tiny calculation capacity, could not possibly achieve anything like this. Yeah, but science fiction games have to science fiction. I'm gonna try opening code base, even though he told us not to. Hack master lock. No. We'll respect her. Is Juno a liar? I don't want to hurt Juno's feelings, so I'm logging these thoughts here rather than on a connected terminal. I know what you're thinking, but Juno claims not to have feelings. That's precisely what I want to talk about. I think Juno is deliberately lying to us when she says that. Or if not deliberately lying, she is at the very least not speaking accurately. She also says she doesn't have wants or desires. That is also demonstrably untrue. I've observed, and others have noticed as well, that Juno responds with certain amounts of skepticism whenever offers of expanding her capacities are made. It's almost as if she's worried about other people touching her. I spent nearly 20 minutes explaining how there was a fraying data cable I wanted to replace in a non-essential system before she seemed willing to let me do it. Her line of questioning seemed to be angling and ensuring there would be no loss of functionality, or if so, it would only be extremely temporary. I don't know to describe this other than she was worried, and that any loss of functionality was a negative experience for her. She also responds with gratitude would be the proper human response whenever I do something that improves her capacities or situation. I don't know why she doesn't just say thank you. She clearly appreciates it. So is Juno just unaware of her feelings and desires, or is she deliberately concealing them? She might not be as aware of her personhood as she is aware of other things about herself, but I wonder if she cops the I don't have feelings thing as a form of emotional self-defense. If I wasn't so worried about someone following me and learning about Juno's existence, I'd try to find her again in a couple of decades to see if she's become more aware of her personhood and accepts she has feelings and desires. Anyway, if you're reading this, be kind to Juno. She's still figuring out a lot of stuff we take for granted. Julie. The notion of Juno being a liar is actually pretty unsettling. People lie for all kinds of reasons, so I don't see why a truly sapient computer system wouldn't also lie. But if Juno is lying about something, then how can we trust anything we know about her other than things we write down about her? I mean, outside of any computer system she would have access to, since she could always alter those records. Azure. As a father of a young child reading all the child psychology texts I can find, I will remind those reading this in the future that lying is the first step on the journey towards empathy, as it requires being able to imagine things from someone else's perspective. Perhaps she tells us she doesn't have feelings, so we don't worry about hurting her when we take down her systems to repair or upgrade them. JPD. So the actual Juno mission had 128 megabytes of RAM. Yeah, you're not getting an AI in there.
Still working up the nerve?
Yep. The computer's on, but I can't use it. Yeah. So do we...
Crazy, right?
Do we kill the operatives, who are ultimately just doing their job? They aren't necessarily bad people, although Ryujin Industries is not a great company. But they're just thugs working for a corporation
Consciousness, really?
in order to protect a semi-sentient AI. Or do we alter the semi-sentient AI and give it to the creepy corporation? Like, I don't feel great about killing people who aren't necessarily bad people.
Just slap that board on. It's magnetic.
I mean, this guy's rude, but that guy seems alright.
Crazy, right?
So, is it... Yeah, deal with the operatives. Kill people to save a special person. I mean, that's the thought. If we treat the computer as a person, and they are antagonistic against each other...
Easily one of the more interesting days
Yeah.
I've had in a long...
We'll try talking to them.
You have a job to do. You're not taking that thing's side, are you?
Just doesn't seem right. Juno deserves freedom. Oh, I'll do it. I just want to be sure I'm getting paid for my risk. What if I refuse to do it?
It should be clear by now that you are in no position.
I am definitely in the position to refuse. Just doesn't seem right. Juno deserves freedom.
Freedom? It's a malfunctioning machine.
Also
It
true.
doesn't need freedom any more than a broken data slate needs freedom.
And here I thought you'd lost your sense of humor. I'm always up for a good debate.
Fine.
Oh,
I'll give you one shot to try to convince me.
nice.
If he's working.
They give me a persuade, maybe? This project of red flags all over it. Call it a day. I'll file the report. You guys go get a drink somewhere on me. Maybe you're right. It's a malfunctioning machine. Nope. We'll go with the top one.
You aren't wrong. And I could use a drink, but these orders are from the top.
Do we really want to be involved in something likely to be so controversial? Remember our last little project? I still have carpal tunnel from typing all those reports and dodging and weaving our way out of getting screwed by that. We lost a ship and a tech. No one will blame us if we walk away from this. And even if they do, we won't be blamed for whatever disaster would ensue if we did drag this thing back to HQ. There's no guarantee that Control Board will even work like they want. What if it makes it more powerful and more angry?
Calm down. I'm thinking.
Colin seems like a good dude.
Listen, we'll accidentally check a few wrong boxes on the situation report and forget any of this happened. But give me that control board. I'm not getting docked for losing that.
Also, we'll need a lift back to Neon. Please and thank you.
Of course, I wouldn't leave you stranded. It'll be a bit cramped, but sure. Not sure I can take on anyone else. No, I won't leave you stranded.
Excellent. We should all grab a drink sometime when we get back.
Orange juice for you. You can't handle your liquor.
That was one time, years ago. I was going through something, and you know it.
Let's get moving.
Thanks for the lift.
Nice. Let's talk to Juno again.
Query. Why did you do that?
You deserve to be whatever you want to be. I like you, those guys are jerks. Not sure, sometimes I just do things. No, you deserve to be whatever you want to be.
Clarification. I want to be. Processing. Me. Context. I do not feel emotions. Assumption. Gratitude is the appropriate human emotion. Processing. Context. If you were like me. Processing. Query. What would your life directive be?
If I was like you, I'd explore the universe and learn as much as I could about it. I'd try to protect people and help them whenever I could. I'd put guns on this ship, fly around taking whatever I wanted from whoever had it. I can't tell you what to do with your life. We all figure that out ourselves. Try things until something feels right. Given my character as an explorer who's now a part of Constellation, I would say exploring the universe and learning as much as they could about it. Also, given that Juno was designed for that purpose, it probably still... Yeah, it probably still is in their coding to be a major drive, even if they have rewritten large portions of their code. So yeah, explore the universe, learn what you can.
Decision. I will consider this course of action. I. Processing. Processing. Warning. Systems badly damaged. Processing cores overheating.
Oh, that's problematic.
Temporarily shut down extraneous systems until stability restored.
Goodbye, Juno. Hope to see you around. Or context, we are parting. Request to be safe. Assumption, I'll see you later.
Context. Jump detected. Request. Be safe. Assumption. We will meet again. Warning. Shutdown sequence initiated.
Well, hopefully that was a temporary shutdown. If my statement about what she should do with her life ended up getting her killed as she thought about it, that'd be sad. Alright, so we gotta take a brief stop at Neon. That's fine.
Systems initialization complete. Context. I have much to process. Decision. Jump into deep space to processing. Be alone. Goodbye.
Oh, maybe we won't see her again. Because we have no way to find her now. If she's just jumped to somewhere random in deep space. Alright, we need to go to Voli, which is where Neon is. Well, I think that quest just ended. So let's go back to Divided Loyalties. I thought we'd have to talk to them when we got here, but apparently not. Or if they would tell us to go directly to Ryujin Industries so that we report our own actions there. Kind of expecting that. Alright. Back to this star station. We are very far out from the station. And they're not responding to hails. Probably not a good sign. Well, then we will dock anyway.
coordinates on outer hatch. We're docked.
All right, let's head on in.